Good morning, friends. I'm starting the day the same way I always do. Coffee, a quiet minute, and a little walk just to wake my body up. We got more snow, so everything feels slower and a little cozier today. I'll take you through everything I eat to stay low carb, keep my blood sugar steady, and enjoy my meals without overthinking any of it. Welcome back to Grace Over Glucose, where we keep low carb living simple and peaceful. So starting my day off with steps as usual, Mother Nature unleashed some snow on us over the last couple of days. And I'm taking advantage of the lake effect being off right now and coming out and getting a few steps. I love walking with the crunch of the snow underneath my feet. It actually sounds pretty cool. But most of my walking will probably happen inside today. Today we're going to have a great what I eat in a day. I'm going to show you all my meals and what I'm drinking. So far today I've had black coffee. I've had my LMNT Armor Colostrum drink with half a scoop of 1UP Clear Protein. And that's it so far. So I'm going to start my work day and go warm up in the house. And I'll see you when I'm eating next or drinking next or have something to tell you. So I'm taking a little break from work. It's very busy today. I think with all the weather problems, there's a lot of cancellation. So I've been pretty busy with that. But time to get up and move around a little bit in the house. It's just a little too frigid right now to bundle up and go back outside, but I'll probably do that later. I'm working toward my step bet. This is week 3. And I did my 2 power days, the last 2 days. So today is an active day. So that's 10,500 and some steps. So I'm at around 4,000, so I have quite a few to go, but that's okay. I also have my upper body workout today with Trainwell, so I'll be doing that in a bit, but I certainly won't be doing that on camera. Not quite comfortable enough to do that yet. So just getting in these steps, nice and warm in the house, and enjoying the beauty outside, all the snow. And we've got our girl Ruby, who's nice and cozy on her blanket and says, "No snow right now, Mom. Not interested." Time for my first meal of the day. You may notice if you watch me at all, I don't really eat breakfast and then lunch. I kind of combine it all into one brunch. So it's very high in protein and a lot of food at one time, but that's just how I like to eat. So today I made some egg salad. So I've got some egg salad on 2 slices of Aunt Millie's low carb bread, toasted. Then I've got some lettuce. I've got 1 slice of American cheese. And on the side, we've got some radishes and some celery for my fiber. I will eat that first. Whenever you're trying to work on keeping your blood sugar steady, eating fiber before protein is the best way to do it. So that's what I do. So I'll eat my radishes, my celery, and then my sandwich. And then I have 1 ounce of almonds and walnuts. I'll eat those. And for my dessert, I have 5% Fage Greek yogurt. I mix that with 1/2 a scoop of 1UP Nutrition Clear Protein. This is in the blue raspberry. And I add a tablespoon of chia seeds. I batch prep this once a week, so it makes it really easy to just grab and go. And then I've got 5 blackberries on that. So this whole meal right here has about 60 grams of protein. And with my Profi that I'll have in a little while, that's another 30. So really keeps me full, keeps me fueled, and keeps my blood pressure nice and steady. So my daily non-negotiable is walking after meals, even if it's for 5 minutes. And the reason I do this is due to blood sugar. So I just had that egg salad sandwich, which is low in carbs, but that Aunt Millie's bread that I just ate, even though it's low in net carbs, it could perhaps spike me. So as soon as I get done eating, no matter what I'm eating, I get out and get some walking in. And that dramatically reduces my blood sugar numbers. I pay attention to them on my continuous glucose monitor, and I see a really big change. Excuse me, when I get out and move. So something about the fresh air too just kind of perks me up after eating. So I like to get outside for that reason. But it's a little treacherous out here, and I'm not used to filming and walking in snow. So I'll get better. But yeah, just getting my movement in. Probably 10 minutes out here today. And back in the house I'll go where it's warm. What am I going to do today? I am done working. I have some housework to catch up on. We're going to make a really good dinner tonight. Stuffed peppers, Italian style. And I might get a chance to read my book this afternoon, which sounds really nice. So wherever you are, if you're trying to work on your health, try to move a little bit after you eat. You might notice that you feel a lot better. Welcome to today's Sip and Chat. I've got my iced coffee with 30 grams of protein, and I'm in a new spot today because it's too cold outside. I actually set up outside and sat down and was like, no, this isn't a good vibe today. So I'll talk to you here from my dining room. So yeah, we ended up getting quite a bit of lake effect snow over the last couple of days, and it's really on and off. Like the sun will be out and then more snow, and then the sun and more snow. It's pretty slick. So early November storms happen here in northern Michigan, but I'm hoping it melts a little bit. I'm not quite ready for this yet. December, yes, I'm ready, but right now I'm still kind of in fall mode. So today's topic, I kind of switched it. I got an idea this morning when I was out walking in the ice. And I thought about talking to you about the way I used to chase cardio. Mostly through steps. And how I do things now and all the difference that it has made for me. So, I've never told my whole story here, and I will someday, but to keep it fairly simple, for quite a few years, I was overweight. I was inflamed and real puffy. My joints hurt. I had plantar fasciitis and just a few different weird health ailments, and I could never figure out what was going on. And I just had no idea why I was overweight because I was walking so much. And I truly believed that walking more was going to get rid of this inflammation and this weight. And it didn't. It made it worse. So a little background on me. Of course, I was a teacher for 30 years. And in order to get to the high school that I taught at, I had to drive like 40 minutes to get there. I live in northern Michigan, so many of those mornings were in blinding snowstorms and just kind of very stressful. So my day started like with high cortisol, high stress. But to show you how determined I was to lose weight and feel better, what I did for a full decade until I retired was I would get to work, and there was a parking lot that was about a quarter or more miles away from my school, and I would park there every single day. So picture that. Teacher dressed for teaching. I always had a hat in my backpack, and I walked in the pitch dark at least a quarter of a mile both ways to get to my school and back to my car. That's the kind of determination I had. And the frustration that I would feel is I was not losing weight. I was not less inflamed. In fact, I was feeling worse. And it was like this big mystery. I could not understand what was happening. I really couldn't. And I taught health. I mean, I'm pretty health-minded. I just couldn't figure it out. And this past March of 2024, I switched to a new doctor just because of closeness to my home. And we did blood work and an A1C, and bam, I found out the problem. I was so close to being a diabetic, like a decimal point. And that was so eye-opening. And the pieces didn't really fall in the puzzle for me immediately, but my determination did. And I read every book to mankind, I believe. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but I read a lot about reversing diabetes or reversing prediabetes. And I started learning the things that I'm doing currently. I was putting way too much stress on my body, my brain, by all that walking. I mean, I'm not kidding. I used to walk. I'd come home from work teaching middle and high school all day. I'd come home, I would switch into my walking clothes, I would bundle up, and I would go walk for 5 miles. And then it would be dark. And I would start the process over every single day. And I wasn't getting any better. No, I had nothing to show for it. It might have been the most frustrating thing I've ever dealt with, to be honest. After all my reading and realizing that blood sugar was my problem, not anything else, I learned skills on how to reduce that blood sugar in my system and stop those spikes and crashes and all that stress that was happening in my body. And I learned to treat steps very differently. Steps now are part of my day, absolutely, because movement really helps blood sugar. It really does. But my focus isn't, I need to walk 5 miles in the blinding snowstorm today. My focus is, I need to get my steps today. I'm going to break them up. I'm not going to stress out about it. I'll get them in. And of course, I'm in a step bet, which does add a layer of stress. And that's what reminded me to talk about this today, because that stress I'm feeling to hit those step bet goals is reminding me of what I used to go through every single day. I will complete the step bet because I'm very disciplined and determined, but I'm not sure I'll do one again for a while, because steps should be natural. They should be enjoyable. They should be something that I can break up and not have to sweat and freeze and have, frozen eyelashes at the end of them. And I've learned so very much. And the weirdest thing is, I'm not walking nearly the steps I used to, 18, 20,000 steps per day while working a full-time job. Now I average about 10,000 right now, more because of the step bet. And my health has never been better. I fully reversed that diagnosis. I have lost a fair amount of weight. My inflammation is almost gone. And I learned so much. So, steps should not be used to punish a person. Steps alone cannot necessarily help a poor diet. And those are the lessons that I learned. So remember that exercise is not meant to punish. Exercise is something we do to enhance our health. And I'm just so glad that I learned these lessons and it wasn't too late to learn them. All right, I'll be back when I eat something or cook something next. We're going to cook dinner here shortly, and I'll be back. So yesterday, I decided to make a big batch of my spaghetti sauce. I like to do that, make it ahead of time and freeze it. So I've got some onions, butter, and garlic sizzling up. And then I added my ground beef along with some water and a little bit of tomato sauce. And now I'm adding a big can of crushed tomatoes to the mix, as well as a smaller can of tomato sauce. And a little bit of water to rinse out the can, of course. Adding in some Italian seasoning. I don't really measure. I just measure with my heart. And then I'm adding in some parsley, same thing. Just sprinkle it till it feels right. Give that a good stir and get the lid on and let it simmer on the lowest setting for as long as you can. And here's what it looks like a few hours later. Nice and golden red. And now I'm assembling my peppers. I cut my peppers, add a little bit of water. I'm putting some foil over it, and I'm putting it in the oven to steam those peppers for just about 10 minutes. Here's my sauce. And now I'll make my salad. This is my grandma's salad bowl. It's very precious to me, and I love it. And cutting up some tomatoes for the salad. I like to cut them because they absorb the flavor. I'm going in with a little of some cucumber. Low in carb, nice and crunchy. And then I have some iceberg lettuce, of course. And finally, some radishes. My peppers are nice and steamy from the oven. They're not mushy. They're just al dente. And now I'm adding my sauce to each of the peppers, giving them quite a bit of sauce. That's where the protein will be. Adding some mozzarella cheese to the tops of all of them, and a little bit of shredded Asiago cheese. And then for some extra protein, a little bit of turkey pepperoni on each of the peppers. And of course, Ruby knows I'm dealing with cheese and needs a little nibble. And here's what they look like before they go in the oven. Scrap turkey. We got a turkey for Thanksgiving. Okay, go see what I got. Go see. Go see.
These are table fixings. Oh, those are table fixings.
And here we have our peppers hot out of the oven. I highly encourage that you let them rest for at least 5 minutes, but ideally 10 minutes, or they will not stay together very well. And then I have my salad all mixed up, ready to go. So I decided to have my after dinner treat tonight. So this is cottage cheese with 2 Winky sugar-free Jell-O. This has about 20 grams of protein in it, and it's a delicious treat. It doesn't always look the best, but it kind of gives me the vibes of cottage cheese and fruit that I used to enjoy, like peaches or pears or something like that. But this doesn't spike my blood sugar, and that absolutely did. So I'm going to go have this and enjoy it with my book. Well, it's the end of the night, or the end of my night, as far as that goes. It's relaxation time, and I'm having my Orange Crush. My favorite is the Sunkist Zero, but I cannot find them, so I'm settling for these, but they're just not as good. Our stuffed peppers were really tasty and delicious, filling. My cottage cheese was delicious with my Jell-O. I try to eat a little bit higher protein on days that I strength train, which I did in upper body, and I'm sore. So I try to hit that protein goal. Thanks for coming along with me today. You got to see some snow. We had a delicious egg salad sandwich. You got to learn how to make some stuffed peppers, and I hope you took away some insight on pushing yourself a little too far with walking or cardio. I'm going to put my macros up at the end of my video, as well as my steps. I will make my steps. I'm almost there. And I'm just so glad you've been here with me today. If you want to come back and see me again, I'll be here on Thursday with my next grocery haul. Friday is my weekly weight update, so I'd love to have you join me. I hope you all have a great day or night or whenever this is that you're watching it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.